Hello and welcome back to another episode of Classic Arcade Repairs. Today I am working on a Journey board set from Bally Midway. It's an MCR. I've already stripped all of the chips off of the boards as they were on the plate, the metal plate there. And these ones are really filthy and nasty, so they're getting a bath first thing. I got all the chips pulled. And I'm going to wash the boards really good, and then I'm going to verify all of the software and RAM in my tester. And then we'll put everything together and just in time to fire everything up. So we just cleaned this board up really good. Tested all of the software. It was all good. Put it all back together. Now this thing did have a 12 volt to ground short on this board, which is typical. These boards are always shorted 12 volts to ground on MCR. And if they are, you just got to clip all of the 12 volt tantalum caps off of the board until you get the one that's short. And this one happened to be this one up here. That 204 was the one that was shorted. And I'll replace all of those. And when you replace those, replace them with a 50 volt cap. Go, you can do 10 microfarad at 20 or 50 volts. That's why those things fail, is they're too close to the 12 volt. They're like 25 volt caps, but you know, they're filtering 12, and it's too hard on them, and they fail. The ones that are in the 5 volt, they never fail. It's always the 12 volt filters. And that's the same with the bullet tantalum caps on the Midway, the card rack games. It's the 12 volt filter tantalums that blow up on those as well. The 5 volt ones never blow up. It's always the 12 volt ones. So replace them with a 50 volt cap. And I use electrolytic can caps. But yeah, and that's it. Journey. It boot with no errors, no soundboard error or anything like that. So I do need to replace those caps because with all those 12 volt filter caps cut off, there's so much noise in the sound circuit. It's so noisy, so you do need to replace those. So I will do that. But yeah, we got a nice working Journey set. Majority of the time, the only thing that's wrong with these board sets are your interconnects. The interconnects, and these boards get so dirty. So clean them up. Make sure you got good cables. And this damn board always shorts 12 volts out. A lot of times you'll see this guy fried right here. Normally with the earlier boards, this is one inductor right here, and it's always fried. And that's the 12 volt line. If your 12 volt line is fried, there's a cap shorted on this board. That's it. Couple little tips for you on that. It's just with these boards how they do that. So all right. All right, and I just crimped 5 new connectors. I like this rainbow ribbon. I think it makes cool connectors. And successful. So now I got the plates all cleaned up. And when you use these kind of connectors, sometimes you have to grind at some of these. You have to flatten some of these a little bit. So what I need to do is put it together and find out exactly which of these has to be flattened down to fit those connectors. There's like 4 of them that you need to grind flat. So I'll figure out which ones those are and then do that. I just use my Dremel and a stone wheel, a grinding wheel, and grind it flat. So, yeah. Good. New connectors. Alright. Cool. Alright, and we are on the metal plate. And you can see here where you file those flats. You just put a little flat on there and your bigger connector will fit just fine. That's that side, and then over here you have to do 2 right here is 1. And on the bottom is the other one. Just use a file. Aluminum files right down really nice, and those fit in there really good. So that's it. Now we'll plug it in and make sure it still works. And make sure that these are not shifted over a pin before you fire this up, because if they are, it'll fry these. Just double check and make sure that they're on right. They're not shifted up or down a pin. Alright, I'm cutting in to make a little something on this video because I was watching it and I noticed that the video was bad, that I did not catch before. So you probably were all screaming, hey, the video's doubled or whatever. What I had ended up doing, I just ran out here so I'm kind of out of breath. What I ended up doing was, under the microscope, I looked at all of the connector pins and I reflowed all of them that were cracked. And there was, typical of these boards, there were a ton of cracked joints, interconnect joints. And they're usually all at the ends, you know, the ends of the 23 pin headers. So I went through and I fixed all the cracked joints, and now it's not doubled up like that. It's right. It's the way it should be. We'll let it play through a little bit on some of the screens, and you'll see it's not doubled up like it was. So it must have been the cracked joints between the CPU board and the video board. Because I know I soldered a lot of them. There were a lot of cracked joints. So we'll just let it run a minute and you'll see it's not doubled up anymore at all. I just came out here and had to make sure of that because I was watching this video and I seen the video was bad, which I did not notice before. And I was like, I don't remember that being like that. Because after I did all the soldering and stuff, it's not like that. So see, it would have been doubled up right here. There would have been 2 Neil Sean's coming down to get the guitar, and now there would have been 2 Neils going up. Yeah, and the one I really saw it on was Jonathan Cain going down to get his piano. I saw 2 Jonathan Cains running to get his piano. I did not so much see an error in this screen. But there might have been two Steve Smiths jumping around. I don't remember exactly. But we'll hold on and wait until we get to the Jonathan Cain screen where he's jumping over the little things. Yeah, in the video prior, there are clearly two of him running down towards his piano. And now it's going to do the journey screen. And I saw two of these. There were two guys. I guess that's what, Ross Valerie. There was two of him going up. Yeah. So that fixed that. Just soldering those bad connections on that. So I just wanted to point that out. This thing, I do realize that the video was doubled, but we did fix it. I'm glad I caught that. Here's the one. This is the one where I clearly saw two Jonathan Cains going down to his piano. Yeah. Cool. Yep. Just wanted to point that one out. And we are hooked all back up. And I hooked up the sound amp. And I did hear the little pop. So I'll put this into test and make sure all the sound channels are working and that kind of good stuff. And just kind of start a game and hear the music and stuff like that. Go ahead and reset. But yeah, sounds work great. This thing's good to go. Yeah. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one, and bye for now.